How's everyone doing today? It's your boy JJ Domination, and today we are back with a different video. Well, it's not really yeah, it is a different video, whatever. Anyway, based on a video that we did maybe 2 or 3 videos ago talking about my NFC and AFC division winners and wildcard teams, we're going to be doing my playoff predictions based on my division winners and wildcard predictions 2 videos ago. So I have all of the division winners and wildcard teams in front of me on my phone, and I'm going to be building the playoff matchups based on how I have everything seeded on my phone. So the number 3 seed for me in the AFC, very weird, but I have the Tennessee Titans. So the Titans will have a home game to kick off wildcard weekend, and they will be facing my 6th seed, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers. So an interesting 3 versus 6 seed right here. You could argue the 6 seed is a lot better than the 3 seed here. Or you could even argue that the Titans could actually beat the Steelers at home in this scenario matchup right here. But I'm going to go with the Steelers to win this one. So the Steelers advance. They're the 6 seed. They automatically face the number 1 seed, which, keep in mind, it's all a part of a storyline here. But the Titans, I'm pretty sure, will play them tough. I think the difference maker is Mariota just can't make the plays that Big Ben can make. I think that's really the difference. Now for the number 4 seed, we have the Baltimore Ravens, and they will be taking on my 5th seed, which is the Los Angeles Chargers. A rematch from last year's wildcard game, of course. The Chargers were able to win that one. Lamar Jackson didn't have a good game. And it's kind of the last sour taste that everyone has about Lamar Jackson. I say he gets his redemption here, and I say the Ravens end up winning this game barely. I say they beat the Chargers. So I have the Ravens and the Steelers advancing. So based on how I have that playing out, the 2 seed, which I have as the Kansas City Chiefs, they will be hosting a game in Arrowhead, but it'll be against the 4-seeded Baltimore Ravens. So the 2 seed versus the 4 seed. This was a game that happened last year that came to overtime. I'm going to say the Kansas City Chiefs are able to squeak out a victory against the Baltimore Ravens. I say they squeak out a victory. They're able to get the job done. But it'll be, a good, more improved version of Lamar Jackson. I just say they come up short, and Kansas City ends up winning, by 4 points. Now for the second divisional round matchup for the AFC, it's going to be those big boys in Foxborough, man. The New England Patriots taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be a rematch from Week 1. These teams haven't seen each other since Week 1. They're both going to be completely different. They're both going to be, completely changed up in how they do things. And last time in Week 1, they were at home. The Patriots were at home for Week 1, and here they are at home in the playoffs, which is kind of something that they need to do. And I'm gonna have the New England Patriots win this one, which you know what that means. The Patriots are back in the AFC Championship. A good hard-fought effort by Pittsburgh. The only difference is their secondary can't hold up. Now here we go. A rematch of the AFC Championship right here. New England, Kansas City. Kansas City this time is on the road against the New England Patriots. I think the Chiefs are going to be able to learn from their mistakes. And I think that since they don't have D4, they don't have to worry about an offsides penalty on a play that would have resulted in an interception. I think the Chiefs defense is better. I'm going to roll the dice here. Something that rarely happens, which is a New England loss at home in the playoffs. And I'm going to go with Kansas City. It's so rare, it barely happens. I think the last time it happened was like 2012 to the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to roll the dice, and I'm going to pick Kansas City to advance in all of this. So Kansas City is my AFC representative in the Super Bowl. Now let's get ready for the NFC East. Or not the NFC East, but the NFC Conference, excuse me. I was reading my phone incorrectly. This one's a little interesting, so Let's see here, my 4 and my 5 seed. Yeah, this is interesting right here. So Green Bay is my 4 seed. So Green Bay is going to get lucky that they have a home game, because they are facing a very scrappy Seattle Seahawks. When these two teams face off, it is magic. I mean, you can go all the way back to, I believe it was 2005, when Matt Hasselbeck in overtime was able to call the coin toss and say, you know, give us the ball, we're going to score. Al Harris later on that drive for Green Bay gets a pick 6. You fast forward all those years to the failed Mary, and then you have the 2014 meltdown in the NFC Championship. This would be kind of like a revenge tour for Green Bay in a way, because they've had bad luck recently against the Seattle Seahawks. They haven't really been able to beat them. It's a team that, regardless of how good Green Bay may think they are, they just can't get over that Seattle Seahawks hump. I say this time around at home in Lambeau Field, they're able to do that. I'll have Green Bay advancing over Seattle. Okay, so Green Bay's going to advance. Now for my 3 seed, I have the New Orleans Saints. And now, this is where things start to heat up, man. This arguably could be the best game of Wild Card Weekend, because they're facing their division rival Atlanta Falcons. The 3rd time. And in the regular season, I have them splitting the season series 1-1. And now here they are in the playoffs, in the wild card. These two teams are going to face off yet again, and it is going to be a slugfest. It's probably going to go to overtime. Eventually, though, I'm going to give the edge to the New Orleans Saints. I hate to do this to the Atlanta Falcons, but it's just based on how it played out on my phone or whatever, so I'm sorry. I am going to give New Orleans the edge. I think this will be the toughest playoff game the Saints have throughout the playoffs, for sure, because the Falcons are no joke, and when they get to this stage, they're going to play you tough, and they're going to play very hard, but I'm going to give the Saints the edge, you know, as the 3 seed. So with New Orleans being the 3 seed, they're going to have to go on the road, so no more home game for the New Orleans Saints. They're the 3 seed. And you're probably wondering, well, JJ, who's the 2 seed? The Los Angeles Rams. Uh-oh, we're getting a rematch, but it's in LA. And I have the New Orleans Saints winning the rematch in LA. That's right. I don't think there'll be like a penalty that costs anybody the game in their mind. No narratives like that. I just think the Saints are going to be a better football team than the Rams, and I have the Saints winning this matchup. Alright, so now, the team to beat in the NFC, in my opinion, the Philadelphia Eagles. They're at home, man. It is going to be so hard to beat this team at home. But it's Green Bay coming to town. It's Aaron Rodgers coming to town with his guys. Anything can happen, but Philadelphia, you're probably saying to yourself, they're just a way better football team. Their offensive line's better. They have better wide receivers around. Their defensive line is better. Their linebacker play is better. You're throwing out all the narratives. You like the running back room better. It's probably all that everyone's going to be saying. The Philadelphia Eagles are just a better football team in general. And to that, I say yes, you're right. But this is a tough matchup, man. This is honestly a coin flip. These two teams actually play each other in the regular season, and the reason Philadelphia is rated higher than Green Bay in my playoff standings early on, way before the playoffs even start, is because Philadelphia actually gets the win over Green Bay, you know, in my predictions, I guess you could say. So, will Philadelphia do it again, or will Aaron Rodgers and company have something to prove? This is where it gets tough. Call me biased, but I think I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm going to go with Philadelphia, man. I'm going to go with Philadelphia. I thought I'd swerve everyone. I'm actually going to go with Philadelphia. I think this is just a tough matchup against Philadelphia in their building. I can see Green Bay coming up short, man. It'd be disappointing as a fan, but I cannot sit here and be biased. I think that's going to be tough. Now this is the championship matchup we all have in front of us, ladies and gentlemen. The New Orleans Saints versus the Philadelphia Eagles. If you guys remember last year, this was the divisional matchup, and the Rams Saints matchup that I just showed you was the AFC or the NFC Championship matchup last year. Now those two have been reversed, and now the game will be taking place in Philadelphia. If New Orleans wants to get to a Super Bowl to face the Kansas City Chiefs, they have to get it done here. And it's going to be tough because, again, Philadelphia is just a great team. But both of these teams are pretty much, they match up very well against each other. They both have very good offensive lines. I think the real only difference is Philadelphia has a better complement of wide receivers and arguably better linebacker play, but that's kind of debatable, because the Saints have some pretty solid linebackers over there as well. Their secondaries, I would say, is just about matched. It's all about how they play. And then, of course, another big difference, the Eagles have a nice rotation of pass rushers where the Saints kind of have one or two guys who are very good at what they do, one of them being Cam Jordan. This is tough. You really don't want to do these things on paper. You kind of want to have a gut feeling. But, man, I'm going to have to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to have to go with Philadelphia. They've been my team to beat. So I'm going to have to go with Philadelphia. And with that being said, my Super Bowl matchup, a very popular one at that, Philadelphia versus Kansas City. In the playoffs, if Andy Reid wants to win his first Super Bowl, not only does he have to beat one of his students, Doug Peterson, but he has to beat his former organization, the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, think about all the storylines in this Super Bowl matchup. If Andy Reid wants to win his first Super Bowl, he has to beat his former organization, a team that's already won a Super Bowl without him. And this is going to be a tough matchup. I mean, you would think pick the Kansas City Chiefs because they can outscore Philly. But what if Philly just comes in there and has a great game plan? The pressure gets to them. The pressure gets to Patrick Mahomes, and you got to think Philadelphia's already played in a Super Bowl. They're going to be mentally prepared for this, whereas Kansas City, not so much. They really weren't mentally prepared for the AFC Championship game against New England, and they had home field advantage last year, so maybe they come into this game not so prepared. But I think despite all of that, man, honestly, I think Kansas City gets it done. I think Kansas City is able to get it done, and I'm going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs to win a Super Bowl. So your Super Bowl champion will be the Kansas City Chiefs. And listen, it's tough, man. It's tough. Predictions are so hard. I could be so off about this. The Kansas City Chiefs probably could get eliminated in Wild Card Weekend for all I know. Maybe they don't even make the playoffs because some weird shit happens. Predictions are so hard, but I am going to pick Kansas City to win the Super Bowl in my predictions based on how I have everything playing out. I think Kansas City has a better defense. Offensively, Patrick Mahomes doesn't have to throw for 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards. I get it. He set the bar high for himself, and anything less than that is going to feel like an underwhelming year. The sad part is it really won't be. It'll just be another impressive year from a third-year quarterback who's a second-year starter, and Patrick Mahomes. But like I said, the defense got better. They added two of my guys, man. One of my favorite players in the league, Tyrann Mathieu and Frank Clark. I just think they're going to be a better team with a slightly worse regular season record. But that's irrelevant because they got the Lombardi Trophy. Andy Reid finally gets his first one. Mahomes gets Super Bowl MVP. He wins a Super Bowl to go along with his MVP. And all of a sudden we're having those conversations if he should be considered an elite quarterback. Is he a lock to enter the elite quarterback status? But hopefully you guys enjoyed, man. Like I said, these are based on some predictions that I made for the regular season about division winners and stuff. Listen, last year, just to put things in perspective, don't freak out. Last year, I was so off about the Chicago Bears, okay? I had the Bears going 6-10. These guys went 12-4. Okay, I have been so off about predictions before, I wouldn't even panic about this. This probably won't even happen. But one man can predict, right? If people can get paid to do it on TV, why can't I do this shit for free? But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed, man, and peace out.